and welcome to another segment of Wild Wisconsin. So, everybody knows there are reasons behind the regulations that ensure that hunters are also good conservationists, as well as ensuring that they protect themselves and other hunters while in the field. But, do you know them inside and out? There have been changes in recent years that can be difficult to keep up with. So, here to refresh your memory is Jake Donar, a seasoned Wisconsin conservation warden who works closely with hunters every day, and Chantel Barber. Chantel Barber has over a dozen years of deer hunting under her belt. She especially loves bow hunting and even got engaged in a tree stand. So, the two of these folks are ready to get you ready for the hunt. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Chantel.
And I'm Jake.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about everything you need to know to go hunting. So I've hunted on a lot of private land, but I'm looking to hunt on some public lands this year. So what are the different rules with public lands?
Sure. There are a few different rules involving public lands. A lot of them mostly pertain to tree stands when you're out hunting, tree stands and ground blinds. So in the southern part of the state, south of Highway 64, when you go out there, if you do go and set up a tree stand or a ground blind, it needs to be removed that day after you're done hunting. If you're north of Highway 64, there is a new rule that came into effect that people can leave out tree stands, but in order to do that, they would need to have their customer ID number attached to it or their name and address, and then there can't be more than 2 tree stands or ground blinds out there per county. But you are able to leave them out overnight.
So I know that option online is really nice for people who happen to wait last minute, but it is really important to try to get your license early and make sure that you know all the new rules and regulations for the year.
Yeah, absolutely. We have the abilities, that everybody could go out and purchase their license theoretically right before the hunt, but it is important to go out and purchase those licenses early. You can look in our regulations for the new 2017 deer hunting regulations, and in those you can see what's new for 2017.
An important thing to remember is if you harvest a deer, you're going to need to know the tag number in order to register that deer through the game registration system. Your tag number is different than your customer ID number, and your tag number cannot be found on your driver's license or your Go Wild card. Your tag number is located on the printed copy of your deer authorization or the image that you may have on your smartphone. You're going to need one of 4 ways to display your authorization to hunt deer. Your printed tag or your Wisconsin driver's license that's validated through the Go Wild system, a Go Wild conservation card, or electronic image that you may be saved on your smartphone.
So personally, Jake, off the record, why did you want to become a warden?
Well, for me, I'm a guy that really likes to hunt and fish and be outside. I really respect our natural resources and what we have, and I've always been interested in law enforcement. This is just a protection of our natural resources, and that's what really got me into it. That's kind of what drove me to being this entity of the DNR, I guess, so to speak, and decide to protect our natural resources.
Is there anything different about baiting rules this year?
So there are a few rules pertaining to baiting and feeding that are a little bit different this year. Some of the areas that baiting and feeding was prohibited last year, people actually can go out and bait and feed. The best way to find out for which specific counties are allowing it is to go online onto our DNR website and type in baiting and feeding and search it, and that'll tell you whether your county allows it or doesn't. It's basically directly related to the testing of diseases in the deer herd, and if animals still test positive or are found testing positive in that county, then it's going to go back to a baiting and feeding ban. But there are some areas that are allowing it that in the past it was prohibited.
Well, Jake, thanks so much for coming out and talking with me. I really learned a lot today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for asking the questions. That's the way to learn and way to know everything. So thanks for having me out here on Wild Wisconsin.
Okay, and now that you know the ins and outs of the rules and regulations of deer hunting in Wisconsin, be sure to check out this link and listen to a great off-the-record podcast on the Wild Wisconsin webpage.